up on my mind. She got Asian in her eyes. Long hair plus she fine.
Hey guys, it's me, Myasha. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're not new, welcome back. For this video, it's kind of like a story time and me talking about how having renter insurance saved our life. So let's go ahead and get into it. So back in May of 2021, I believe. Yeah, back in May of 2021, we moved into our first apartment ever, and we were so excited. I was 19, my husband was 19. He just turned 19. Literally on the day we moved in, it was his birthday. And it just seemed so good to be true. You know, we moved there. We was excited because it was the first apartment ever. And at that moment, we didn't really care about where it was. We just knew that, okay, it's close to my husband's job. His mom lives right up the street. You know, this is perfect. This is a perfect place for us to be. So after we moved in, we kept complaining about our neighbors. Like, our neighbors were being very, not like neighbors, they were not being respectful. Like, it was, okay, I think I had talked about this before. So this is where we stayed, on the bottom floor right here. And then there was people in front of us, people above that, people in front of us, and then there was people above us. And all three of these people, it was more than three people living in these apartments, but all three of these doors, the people inside the doors knew each other. So they would, like, the person up here would come down the stairs and always like be like on our patio just talking, basically being like talking, yelling, screaming, just being loud and obnoxious. They'll leave trash all in our backyard because we had a patio, but we never went back there. But they would leave trash all out there. They'll be out there even at 3-4 o'clock in the morning just talking, yelling, screaming. And my husband even said that there have been times where he will come in the house, like, because okay, so the work schedule he had at the time was 5 o'clock p.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning at that time. So he'll come in the house like at 2, 3, sometimes at 1. It depends on how much stuff they had in the production because it was a warehouse job at the time. So when he would come in the house, there'll be sometimes like females outside looking like prostitutes, basically just standing outside because it was like a door. So here's the door. You walk into this apartment. Here's our door, their door, and then the people up here door. So it was a door to get into the entrance, and then there's the apartment complex. So it was kind of like the apartment was inside a little house, if it makes sense. But that's how it was. We were putting in complaints all the time. I could swear to you not, I had a good 12 complaints about these people, all of them. And the maintenance people, the office, they didn't do anything about it. And tell me why. Like, half the time, like, I think you guys even seen the vlogs. If you're not new, you've seen the vlogs back in the day. This was 2 years ago, where I would always drive to my mom's house while my husband's at work because I didn't feel comfortable being there by myself. So we had our own apartment, but I would always be at my mom's house in a safer area because I just did not like being there. So it was a day when my husband got off work and I was like, call an Uber over here, call an Uber over here. He called an Uber over to my mom's house where I was at currently. And thank goodness he did, y'all, because that was on Friday. I don't remember what day it was, right? But I believe it was on a Friday because I believe he was off Saturday and Sunday. So we spent the weekend at my mom's and we ended up buying a cat. Technically, we didn't buy it. We got it for free. We ended up going to the animal shelter and we got a free cat. And we was going to make it our new addition before, we had our son. And that didn't work at the time, my fiance. We were contemplating on if we wanted to go home or if we wanted to stay there. We ended up staying the night, one more night, thank goodness, because if we didn't, we would have been caught in that fire too. And tell me why because my phone back then, it was weird. So I kept getting all these spam calls. I would answer and nobody would be there. So I got a call from the apartment. That wasn't the first time I ever got a call from the apartment. So I got a call from the apartment. I didn't answer because I was like, it's one of the spam calls again, because they would call me. I would pick up. No one would say nothing. So that's what I thought, because it was on Father's Day. And I remember we came home because my husband had work the next day. And when we came home, we didn't have a home because our apartment was burned down. So the time that I missed that call, it was actually a real important call, I believe. And they said that they were trying to tell us that our apartment was burned down and we didn't have a place to go anymore. And they wanted to know where we were because we wasn't there, basically. Y'all, it was so sad. I remember when we came there for the first time. So when we went home, we had the cat in the back and we was just excited to go home because my husband had work the next day technically that day to the next day. You know what I mean? So when we went there was no home. It was just burned down. We were confused. We went to the office. I was bawling my eyes out, talking about where's our home? You know, everything we worked for is gone. And I tell you, everybody in that neighborhood, they were blessings. They were huge blessings and angels to us. Because I don't remember how far along I was, but I was huge and I was about to give birth, basically. May, June, July. So I was, 7 months pregnant? 7 months pregnant, right? And I was just bawling my eyes out in the office, confused, screaming. We had the cat. We wasn't even gonna sneak it no more, because our goal was to sneak it because we didn't want to pay for pet rent. But we got caught anyways, but it didn't matter because we didn't have no place to go. And when we went there, I was just bawling my eyes out, talking about how, you know, I'm about to give birth, everything we work for is gone, what am I supposed to do, yada yada yada. Like, I was going crazy because I was hurt. They felt so bad that not just them, like everybody in that community felt bad, because I guess they started hearing my story about like how I was about to give birth. You know, I'm 7 months pregnant, about to give birth, you know what I mean? So everyone started donating their clothes. They started donating baby items, baby clothes. And I tell you, it was a blessing, because we got so much stuff we didn't even know what to do with it. And we still have those outfits that a lot of people donated for our kids. We still put it on our kids till this day. But it was just a blessing. It was a blessing. And I remember, what is it called? Red Cross? Red Cross came to us. They gave us, we was at my mother-in-law's house at the time. So like after the situation happened, we went over there because we was confused, crying our eyes out, and they said just go somewhere for now. So we ended up, like, that's what the apartment complex said, and that was the closest place we had. So we went there. I called my mom, crying to her, and she was an insurance agent, so she was like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do. Because yeah, I tell you, when we moved in, my mom was like, make sure you get renter insurance. And I was not thinking about getting renter's insurance. As soon as we moved in, I'm like, I'm about to cancel these renter insurance. Why am I paying $32 for this a month? That's stupid. Why am I paying for this? And I promise you, I was really, really close to canceling my renter's insurance. And I'm so glad and thankful I didn't. Because literally, I was thinking about it. I was on the app about to do it. And then I lost track. You know, pregnancy brain. I ended up losing track. And and I didn't do it, thank goodness, because they came in handy for real. I would say, because this is the claim, I still got the paper and everything, because this is stuff I keep hold of. I still have the check. The check is somewhere. I need to find it, but we already used the check basically. But altogether, they gave us like $8,000. Of course, that's not how much everything cost that we lost, but it was a huge blessing. They gave us a place to stay, and oh my gosh. And when I say that Red Cross came, right? So when Red Cross came to my mother-in-law's house, who was at the moment after the situation happened, they gave us like hygiene stuff, which we definitely needed. So they gave us hygiene stuff. They gave us a gift card. I think it had $50 on it, and I don't remember what we did with that, but that was a blessing too. And then like my mom went to work and you know, she started filing our insurance claim. I don't know how she did it, because I didn't do it. She filed it for us. And basically the ball started moving. Like, as soon as she filed it, the person that was my agent ended up calling me, and they were just talking about, okay, where do you guys want to stay? Oh, I see that you guys are located in here. Do you want to stay here? And I was like, no, we do not want to stay in a hotel out here. Can I pick my own place? And he was like, yes, sure. Here's a list. Pick your place, and I'll go ahead and book it for you. So I picked a hotel in a city that I love. Well, I felt more safe at. And it was just like that. Like, literally, we was at his parents' house. I would say, like, this happened around 5 o'clock, right? We ended up having our own hotel for 30 days, like around 8 and 9 o'clock, around 9 o'clock, basically. So the process was quick when it came to him booking us a place to stay. And before we did all that, we was just driving around. You know, we went to my husband's job, letting them know that, you know, he's going to need time off because of the situation. And they understood, they respected it, and it was that easy. I remember I went to the hospital that day. Then after the hospital, I went to the hotel that we had for 30 days. But it really felt like it was like 28 days, 27 days. I don't really feel like it was 30 days. It was supposed to be 30 days, but I think they knew that we had a cat. So they were like paying for, they put more money into like also how much it costs for having a pet at the hotel. And then we ended up getting rid of the cat. So it was like that cat thing still never like disappeared off of our having a pet basically was a part of the fee, so it made our days shorter basically. But anywho, this is just the story of how having renter's insurance saved our life. It gave us a place to stay, and then from there, I think I already told you guys this story, basically how so the first day when we met him, he gave us $1,500, and that was just to get personal hygiene stuff, is what he told us to do. He said, get personal hygiene stuff, and this is what you get now, and then later you get the rest. So he was like, okay, blah 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 blah, okay, basically. And then I would say, honestly, we didn't get the rest of the money until after we moved in with my mom, because we was stressing, y'all. We was stressing so bad. We're like, oh my gosh, this is not the way it was supposed to be. You know, we was looking for apartments, couldn't find anything available. We started like just going crazy because we thought that it was like, I don't know, this is what I thought at the time. I thought like, you know, they were supposed to help us find a place while we stayed there, but that's not how it was. We were supposed to help ourselves find a place, and whatever it is, we basically pay for it with the money that we had. I didn't think it was like that, because it was like different people from the agency calling us and basically asking like, have we found a place yet? You know, I'll send you a list of different apartments and you pick out what you want, basically. But it was just weird. Started looking on our own really like more crazy after we had to move out, after the 28 days technically. So after the 28 days of us staying in the hotel, we ended up staying with my mom, and that's when we really got the rest of the money, because we met up with them again, gave us the check for the rest of the money, which was 2 checks. They wrote 2 checks, and one was 3,322, and the other one was 3,541. And after they gave us that check, that's when we started looking for a place. We couldn't find a place. We started losing hope, and we just started spending the money the way that we thought, you know, we should, because everything just wasn't going the way that we wanted it to go. We ended up going to this other place that we ended up moving to, and I promise you, there was an angel there. It was an angel sent from God at that place. Because when we went in, you know, we were young. We had no rental history, because the first place we ever moved to got burned down. And we didn't even stay there for a month before it got burned down. But with me staying there less than a month, I was literally going crazy, praying to God, just asking for a blessing, because we wanted to break the lease. We didn't like it that much. We wanted to break the lease. So that was God's way of breaking the lease for us. When we went to the apartment that we ended up moving to, this lady, you know, she was just asking for like the apartment people's information, which was the person that ended up like moving us in. And he used to work for Gray Star Communities, because that was the community management community name, right? So he was like, oh my gosh, I could really hook you guys up. Thank goodness, you know, they're good company. I'm glad you guys found them, basically. And I guess he told them good things about us. No complaints, you know, paying rent on time when we did have to pay. And she typed in our information. We found out that we got approved. Literally, I don't remember if it was the same day we found out we got approved or a couple days later. I just don't remember. Everything was a blur from there. But all I know is we didn't have, like, I wasn't working. My husband was working. He was the reason why we was able to get the place, basically, because he had pay subs. They was able to call his job to verify, and I was just there. That's how we ended up moving there. But it was a blessing, because we went there. I gave them all my information. I gave my husband, my fiance at the time, gave them all his information. She was able to work her things out because of the other apartment complex, a good word for us. And that's how we moved into the place. But that is really how having rental insurance saved our life. And, you know, I just want to go ahead and read this to you, because the date of loss was 6/20/2021.
It says, thank you for issuing your property with Country Financial. We appreciate that you chosen us as your insurance company. Your claim payment is enclosed. I enclosed your claim payment of $3,322.61 plus $3,541.06. This payment represents the damage your property allows us to cover minus your $500 policy deductible. the portion of the claim you agreed to pay when you purchased your insurance policy and minus the advance issued of $1,500. Generally speaking, actual cash value is the value of the damaged property at the time of the loss. It reflects the amount to repair or replace your damaged property. Material of like and quality minus depreciation based on age, wear, market condition, physical condition, and other factors. The general description is provided for your convenience. You should review your policy for a full explanation and definition of actual cash value, including a applicable policy condition and exclusion. What is not covered under your policy? Your policy does not cover auto parts, that's accessories.
Volkswagen key. Below outlines the language in your policy that prevents us from covering all of the damage to your property. So basically, I remember I had 2 keys to my Volkswagen at the time. And I remember leaving one of them because I don't need 2 keys everywhere I go, you know what I mean? So I left it at the house on top of the door, and that got, and I remember putting that on my claims list, and they were saying how I have to come out of my own pocket for that, and they don't cover basically auto parts, which is understandable because I guess it's understandable. But I feel like anything that you lost should be replaced. And another con that I could say about having rental insurance is you basically have to keep receipts for everything. Because if you don't, they'll go based on how much they think the items cost. Because, like, I'm not going to talk bad about having rental insurance because I know that every money that they gave us was, like, we needed it. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of things that they said that we didn't have because we didn't have a receipt. You have to show receipts. You have to show how you bought it. You have to show images and pictures. It was a lot of work, y'all. Like, we had to take pictures. Well, we had to look through our gallery to see if we had pictures of anything of our house. The only thing we had a picture of was my husband's PlayStation. I recorded him playing the game. So basically, they didn't want to give us half the stuff that we had because I didn't have images or receipts. Because not a lot of people feel like you have to have receipts of everything you have. You know, if you know you want it and you know, okay, I had this over 30 days, you don't keep receipts. So that was a con about the whole thing. Like, I feel like all of our items that we lost in it was worth more than $3,322 plus $3,541, which was $6,663 versus how much everything really did cost. Because we didn't have proof and documentation of these items, and the case was open for a year. So basically, they were saying how if we buy more items that we lost in the place, take a picture of it and we'll refund you back that money. But I was like, man, I don't got time to do all that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have time to take a picture of everything I bought and then send it to you guys so you guys could refund me something that I felt like, you guys should have gave me my money for it to start with. But if you guys want to know more information about how, like, the claim process went and how fast it was, please leave comments down below. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and I'll see you guys in my next YouTube video. I love you guys. Peace.